In 3 weeks, my client, who owns a social media management business, went from having just a couple of clients to being fully booked out with a freaking wait list. So let's talk about it. And she actually just messaged me the other day and told me that she signed her dreamiest client ever and that she couldn't have done it without my help. The truth is, I basically helped her start infusing one type of content into her strategy for her to start landing multiple inquiries. Like I said, this client owns a social media management business, and both her TikTok and her Instagram accounts were dead because she had not been posting before working with me. And it's not like she had a lot of followers. She had less than 200 followers on Instagram. And the problem that she was experiencing was that she simply didn't know what to post to get clients through her content. So essentially, she just gave up on posting. What this looked like is she wasn't getting people booking discovery calls through her content or DMing her inquiring about her services. And she didn't want to have to do outreach or rely on word of mouth because she knew it wasn't a sustainable way to build a business, and I couldn't agree more with her. So eventually she just got to a point, like I said, where she stopped posting because she wasn't seeing results. After working with me for a couple of weeks, she started infusing problem-aware content into her strategy. The way she did this is she got very clear on the problems her ideal client was facing and how they were experiencing those problems. In her content, she called out these problems and made it very clear why her ideal client's community was buying from their competitor instead of them. And to be honest, after looking at her page, her problem-aware content actually generated the most engagement. Keep in mind, this client thought her accounts were dead because she wasn't even posting before working with me. But after only 6 posts on her IG grid, she began receiving multiple inquiries and is now booked out with a waitlist going and still has less than 200 followers on Instagram. A lot of people know the different types of content to include in their strategy, but they don't know how to implement, how to incorporate that type of content in their strategy. Typically, this looks like not fully understanding their ideal client's problems and how they're experiencing those problems. In this example, a problem her ideal client was facing was that their community was buying from their competitors and not them. And they didn't know how to reverse that, essentially. She brought this topic to life through problem-aware content that called out this issue and, quite frankly, positioned my client as the only solution. See, in order to do something like this, you have to understand not only what kind of content to include in your strategy, but more specifically, how to include that content in your strategy, like what that looks like, specifically how to tailor it to your audience. And this is just where a lot of people miss the mark. They think because they know what type of content to include in their strategy, that's all they need to know. But at the end of the day, it's never going to be enough to actually get the results you want. Because you could certainly be including that content in your strategy, but not in the right way. You could be completely missing the actual problems your ideal client is experiencing. So if you don't know how to incorporate this content correctly into your strategy, then you need another set of eyes on your content.